Hey there, history lovers. Welcome back to WTF History, the channel where we rip open the past and shine a light on the stories too dark, too wild, or just too downright disturbing to make it into your high school textbooks. Today, we're diving into a tale that's going to hit you like a punch to the gut. It's 34 AD, and you're a 12-year-old kid living your best life in the Bay of Naples. The Mediterranean sun is warming your back as you dive into the crystal clear water, chasing seashells with your little brother. You're both laughing, competing to see who can hold their breath longer, while your dad watches from his fishing boat, his face lit up with pride. You surface, clutching a handful of perfect shells, your dark hair plastered to your head, chest heaving from the effort. The sea is your playground, the waves your rhythm, and life feels simple. Honest, pure. You're just a kid, free and alive, with no idea that everything's about to change. Then you see them, 3 imperial galleys slicing through the water, their purple sails catching the sunlight, each one marked with the golden eagle of Rome. Your dad's face changes, pale, almost gray, like he's seen a ghost. Everyone in your village knows what those ships mean. The Emperor Tiberius is collecting again. You don't know it yet, but your knack for swimming, that talent that made you the star of your family, has just put a target on your back. Soldiers have been watching you for weeks, hiding in plain sight, noting how long you can stay underwater, how effortlessly you glide through the currents. They've seen you dive deep, hold your breath for minutes, and come up grinning with a shell in your hand. Tomorrow, you'll wake up in a marble chamber on a distant island, surrounded by other boys who once had families, once had names. The kid who laughed and dove for shells is about to start disappearing, replaced by something else, something called a little fish, trained to serve the twisted desires of the most powerful man on earth. This is the story of Emperor Tiberius and his private island of Capri, a place where paradise was turned into a nightmare. So grab a seat, maybe keep a light on, and let's dive into one of the darkest chapters of Roman history. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss a single twisted tale. You're still on that boat, the sun high overhead, when the soldiers make their move. They're not here to negotiate. They climb aboard, their armor clinking, carrying scrolls stamped with the emperor's seal. They talk in clipped tones about imperial service and opportunities for advancement. But their words feel hollow, like a script they've recited too many times. Their eyes are what scare you, cold, calculating, like they're sizing up a horse at market. They don't see you as a kid. They see you as a commodity. They test you right there on the boat. They check your reflexes, make you open your mouth so they can inspect your teeth. The journey to Capri takes 2 days, and you're crammed into a cargo hold with dozens of other boys, all strangers, all sharing the same terrified look. Some sob quietly, their faces buried in their hands. Others sit in stunned silence, staring at the wooden planks. The older boys, the ones who've heard rumors, whisper about marble pools and strange tasks that make no sense to your young mind. They talk about boys who please the emperor and get better food, better blankets. But they also mention others who don't please him, who just disappear. The ship docks at Capri, and the island takes your breath away. It rises from the sea like an emerald jewel, its cliffs towering, its waters sparkling under the sun. The villas gleam white against the green, a picture of paradise. But as you're marched off the ship, the details hit you like a slap. Armed guards line the docks, their spears glinting. Watchtowers loom over every approach, their sentries scanning the horizon. There are no boats here except the emperor's, and everyone moves with the careful precision of people who know they're being watched. You're herded into the villa, a sprawling complex called Villa Jovis, perched on the island's highest plateau. It's a maze of marble chambers, lush gardens, and pools. Pools that will soon haunt your nightmares. The physicians are waiting, their hands cold as they examine you. They test your swimming again, make you dive and hold your breath, check your flexibility, your strength, something they call appropriateness for specialized service. It's a phrase that makes your skin crawl, though you don't yet know why. If you pass, you're given a clean tunic and led to a dormitory near the pools. If you fail, you're taken away and no one hears your screams. You pass. Of course, your swimming is too good, your breath-holding too impressive. They lead you to a marble chamber, its walls painted with frescoes of sea nymphs and ocean gods. Images that seem beautiful but will soon feel like a cruel joke. That night, you lie on a narrow bed, listening to the gentle splash of water from the nearby pools, mixed with other sounds, soft, strange, impossible to identify. Older boys move quietly between beds, their whispers urgent. They tell you the rules. Don't speak unless spoken to. Don't look the emperor in the eye. Don't ever refuse him. Your life depends on these rules, they say, and you believe them. Training begins at first light. You're assigned to Marcus, a boy who says he's 15, but whose eyes look like they've seen decades. He survived 3 years on Capri by learning to read the emperor's moods, to anticipate his desires before they're spoken. Marcus is your guide, your lifeline, and he wastes no time. He pulls you aside, his voice low, and lays out the basics. Stay silent, keep your head down, and never stop practicing your swimming. Your life depends on how well you can move through the water. The pools are the heart of this nightmare, and they're unlike anything you've ever seen. They're carved straight into the rock. Connected by underwater passages, their water kept at a perfect temperature, not too hot, not too cold. Marble steps and platforms are placed at precise intervals, creating spaces for something. You're not sure what yet, but the thought makes your stomach churn. Marcus teaches you to hold your breath longer, for minutes, then 5. You learn to swim without splashing, to glide silently like a shadow. Then comes the training that makes your heart sink. They teach you techniques no child should know, ways to use your hands and mouth underwater, for purposes you're too young to fully understand. Each lesson chips away at the kid you were, the one who dove for shells and laughed with his brother. The first time you're summoned to the emperor, you think you might die of fear. Tiberius lounges on a marble platform jutting into the main pool, his aging body draped in silk, steam rising around him. He looks like a bloated spider in a web, his eyes sharp and predatory as they scan you and the other boys chosen for his afternoon entertainment. Marcus has spent weeks preparing you, whispering instructions in the dark. But nothing readies you for this. Tiberius's voice is soft, almost grandfatherly, as he explains what he wants. Swim around him, dive and surface in patterns, sometimes closer, sometimes too close. Using your hands or mouth in ways that feel wrong. You do it because you've seen what happens to boys who don't. You've heard their screams, seen their empty beds. The fear is a constant weight, but you learn to push it down, to focus on survival, one breath at a time. This isn't just one man's cruelty. It's a system, a machine built with the precision of Rome's greatest engineering. Villa Jovis is a fortress of secrecy, designed to keep Tiberius's desires hidden from the world. The island's isolation is its first defense, 12 miles from the mainland, surrounded by treacherous currents and cliffs that make escape impossible. Ships can only dock in calm weather, and every vessel is watched by imperial guards. The villa itself is a masterpiece of perverted architecture. Its pools aren't for leisure. They're engineered for specific acts, with depths and temperatures tailored to the emperor's whims. Underground chambers muffle screams, ensuring no sound escapes. The staff, from physicians to scribes, operate with the efficiency of a legion. Some of the scribes are former little fishes, boys who survived long enough to be trusted with keeping records, detailed, chilling records of every boy's height, weight, swimming skills, and service aptitude. You're not a person here. Your inventory, a breathing toy in the emperor's collection. The staff discussed Tiberius's recreational needs with the same detachment they'd use for grain shipments or tax quotas. The boys, meanwhile, form their own hierarchy. Veterans like Marcus navigate the system with cold efficiency, trading pieces of their soul for small advantages, a better bed, an extra portion of food. Newcomers arrive every few weeks, their wide eyes and trembling hands a painful reminder of the kid you used to be. Then there are the broken ones, boys like Lucius, who's been here for years. He barely speaks, his eyes fixed on some distant point no one else can see. You watch him waste away, refusing food until his body gives out. The other boys don't cry when he dies. They understand it as escape, maybe the only one left. You learn to read Tiberius's moods, to adjust your behavior to avoid punishment. Some days, he's content with watching you swim, applauding your dives like a proud father. Others, his demands are darker, more invasive, and you comply because the alternative is worse. Punishment isn't just a beating, it's isolation in a dripping underground chamber, or worse, disappearance. You've seen boys vanish, their beds filled before the sheets go cold. Time blurs. You're 14, then 15, still here, still swimming, still serving. Summer is the worst time. Calm seas mean more ships, more boys, more demands. The villa buzzes with activity, Tiberius's appetites at their peak. Winter is quieter, but the sessions last longer, his frustration growing as his body fails him. He's in his 70s now, his skin blotched with sores, his breathing labored, his digestion a constant issue. You think it would slow him down, but it doesn't. If anything, it makes him worse, pushing you and the other boys to compensate for his fading vitality. You walk a tightrope, balancing compliance with the need to hold onto some shred of yourself, but it's slipping. The kid who dove for shells in Naples is gone, replaced by a creature whose existence revolves around the emperor's whims. Marcus, your mentor, has been your anchor, teaching you how to survive, how to read Tiberius's moods, how to stay valuable. But even he has a breaking point. One spring, after a particularly brutal day, a session that lasted hours, involving multiple boys and demands that left you all hollow, Marcus snaps. That night, you wake to find his bed empty. By morning, you hear whispers. He threw himself off the cliffs surrounding the villa. His death is like a wave crashing over you, dragging you under. You realize survival isn't survival if it means becoming something no longer human. The question isn't whether you'll die on Capri, but whether you'll die as yourself or as the thing this place is turning you into. You keep going because what else can you do? You swim, you serve, you bury your fear deeper with every breath. The villa isn't just a palace. It's a factory, a machine of abuse running with the efficiency of Rome's aqueducts. Every detail serves a purpose. The architecture prevents escape. High cliffs, guarded docks, soundproof chambers. The staff, from guards to cooks, operate with absolute loyalty, their silence bought with fear or favor. Tiberius keeps detailed records, updated daily by his scribes, tracking every boy's physical development, their swimming skills, their aptitude for his desires. Your livestock, cataloged and managed like any imperial resource. The boys develop their own society, a twisted mirror of the world outside. Veterans like Marcus were at the top, using their cunning to gain small privileges. Newcomers are at the bottom, learning the rules the hard way. And then there are the broken ones, boys who've seen too much, survived too long. You've watched them fade, their minds retreating into shells that make them barely human. You've seen boys arrive full of hope and fear, watch them learn the rules. Watch them transform into hollow shells or eager participants, trading their dignity for a scrap of safety. Summer brings the busiest periods, with new boys arriving weekly. Their terrified faces a constant reminder of your own first day. Winter offers a grim respite, fewer arrivals, but longer, more intense sessions as Tiberius spends more time indoors. You learn to dread his moods, to watch for subtle signs, a clenched jaw, a too long stare. When he's pleased, maybe after good news from Rome, sessions might be simple swimming displays. When he's angry or unwell, the demands become dangerous, pushing you beyond your limits. Tiberius's health is failing fast. Skin conditions make touch painful. Breathing issues limit his time in the pools. Digestive problems leave him weak. But instead of slowing down, he doubles his efforts, demanding more from you. More creativity, more endurance, as if he can outrun his own mortality through your suffering. Then, in 37 AD, it ends. Tiberius dies, possibly at the hands of his own Praetorian Guard commander. The villa is sealed, its secrets locked away. The machine grinds to a halt, but for you and the other boys, there's no victory, no freedom. You're witnesses to crimes no one wants to acknowledge. Trained for a purpose that makes you unfit for the world outside. Some boys are quietly sent to other facilities, their fates unrecorded. Others vanish, perhaps killed to keep the emperor's secrets buried. A few try to return to their families, but after years on Capri, they're strangers, ghosts in bodies that no longer fit their old lives. Your own fate is unknown, lost to history like so many others. You're just one of countless children who suffered, who died, to feed one man's twisted appetites. But this isn't some scandal cooked up by later historians. Roman chroniclers like Suetonius documented it all, their accounts raw and unflinching. In the lives of the 12 Caesars, Suetonius describes Tiberius's secret orgies and his little fishes, boys trained to perform unspeakable acts underwater. These aren't rumors. They're based on witnesses' official records. And the villa itself, which still stands on Capri today. You can walk through those pools, those chambers, though the tour guides won't tell you their true purpose. This was a system that chewed up lives with cold efficiency, turning paradise into a nightmare. It's a reminder that power can corrupt in ways that defy comprehension, that history's darkest corners are often the ones we'd rather ignore. Thanks for joining me on this harrowing journey through the past. If this story shook you as much as it shook me, smash that like button, share this video with someone who needs to hear it, and drop a comment below. Tell me what you think or where you're watching from. Subscribe and ring the bell for more stories that'll make you say, WTF History. Until next time, stay curious and keep questioning the past.